Well, good morning. Welcome to Agape. Unconditional love, the awareness and acceptance of your wholeness, the awareness and acceptance of the wholeness of others, the awareness and acceptance of the wholeness of life. We're a positive, practical spirituality. We embrace all paths. We basically teach how to better self-love through conscious living, because everything begins and ends with you, because in you is awareness. You're not your mind, you're not your body, you're not your thoughts, you're not your emotions, but you're the observer of them. And because you're the observer of them, you have the ability to create whatever illusion or dream you choose, and your life is your responsibility. So with that, before we get going into today's message, let's take a few moments and get still so that we can be more open to receive. So I invite you to come into a comfortable seated upright position. Your back is straight. Hands gently resting on your lap. If you haven't already, close your eyes and bring your awareness to your breath. And with me, take a conscious deep breath in through your nose. And now slowly exhale through your mouth and feel your body begin to relax. Again, a long, slow, deep breath in. And now relax. And one more time. Long, slow, deep breath in. And now as you let go, feel yourself. Just enter a state of stillness, quiet. Thoughts are still there. They come in, they go out, but no attachment. Take a moment to notice from within, you have that body. Notice that you are experiencing thoughts. Notice that your body is having sensations and you're experiencing them through observing your body. You're the master. You are the eternal presence of the divine in there that has given you the ability to use your perception to create an experience. And that experience is your life. And because you are the creator, the writer, the main actor, you have the ability to change everything. Your camera is your mind. Wherever your mind focuses, that's the picture, that's the experience, that's the feeling. See that because you've now got this new revelation, this new idea of your truth, that everything that's happened to you is on film from the past. And you don't have to play that film ever again. You cannot cue up that film and the past will no longer affect you. That's how powerful you are. But if you cue it up and you press that play button, it has an impact on you. Again, realize you are the power that tunes your focus. And with that realization, bring it with you as you start to live your life. And know that where you turn that mind, how you focus it, becomes your magic tool. And so with this insight deeply ingrained and at the cellular level, start to come back to your body, to this time, to this place, to this day. When you're ready, gently begin to move, however that is for you. And now open your eyes. Put a smile on your face. And just feel how great it is to be alive. Well, today I'm going to talk about the five, not the five, but five practical ways to live a spiritual centered life. You see, living spiritually, it's not about escaping life. It's about engaging with life fully, consciously, and courageously. A lot of people live in fear. That's not living in life. That's not engaging with life. That's running from life. Escaping life and its newness in that to be comfortable does not make sense. You were meant to create as much experience as you can and to feel it. So let's look at 5 practical ways to live daily. The first way we're going to look at is to simplify your life. Clutter backs clarity. Clarity fuels power. Think about if you cleared your mind of all the nonsense from the past, you would have more clarity in the present moment. If you have more clarity in the present moment, you can consciously more create. Clutter in your life, in your home. Think about what that does. You've got all this excess stuff. I know for a fact, I remember when I went to move my dad into the assisted living and I had to unclutter his home to be able to fit what he needed in a 1-bedroom little apartment. I got rid of so much nonsense, so much junk. And I noticed this week that there was stuff in the yard that my wife had from several years prior for her garden that she wasn't using anymore. Guess what? I decluttered. I like to declutter mentally and physically. It changes my way of looking at the world. So you can declutter your space, and you do it physically, digitally. There's a big one. Emotionally. I know people that have, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of photos. I don't know why. I know that they've got all this social media. Why do you have all that social media? What do you need it all for? And what about your emotions? You've got all these emotions attached to all these events. Let them go. You see, when you declutter, you can be more present in the moment, and that's where life lives. Here's another way to simplify your life. Say no. Do you hear the word no? To what drains your energy. If you're participating in a particular type of group, I don't know, maybe it's playing cards, maybe it's playing a sport, maybe it's a book club, maybe it's whatever it is, and it drains you, you come home feeling drained, that's a clear sign it's time to declutter. Why do you stay in things because you feel an obligation? You don't have obligations to anyone but you. You have one life to live. Why would you feel obligated to someone else? And here's one of my favorites ones. Choose depth over drama. I just do not participate in a lot of drama. I get caught every once in a while, but for the most part, I do not participate. Drama bores the hell out of me. Drama does not establish intimacy. I love to have intimate relationships with people where we're talking about meaningful things, we're fully connected, and we're not judging each other. Drama is all about judgment, and judgment is not love. Pure and simple. The second way, spiritual living, it's not about adding more. It's removing what no longer serves. You see, that's really key. Plato said this, and you've heard me say this before, empty your mind of all thoughts every morning and then examine each thought. If it's no longer serving you, don't put it back in your brain. That's what we're talking about here. Spiritual living is not about getting more and more and more and more. It's about removing what no longer serves you. It's about removing that which causes you to feel this illusion of suffering. Because suffering is an illusion, because it's a perspective in which you're looking at life. The second practical way to live is to practice mindful stillness on a daily basis. To just simply sit in silence for 10 to 20 minutes daily. Ideally, sit in silence twice a day, 20 minutes. Without attachment. Just focus on your breath. It's as simple as that. because then you're taking your mind off all the nonsense. One of the key things is to focus on your breath, to focus on your body. If you're doing exercise, today I was on the stair climber, I was focusing on my body. There was a young person next to me, and there I am, and this person probably was probably 18, 19. So they got that stair climber popped up to level 11, and they're just cruising like all can be. I'm sitting there next to them, and I started before them, but I was cruising at a level 6. And I felt my body. I focused on my breath and my beingness. And here's the key thing. I realized, don't compare against that young person. Your body's doing just great. I was mindful. My body was doing great, and I did not need to compare. Another way to practice mindful stillness is to just let thoughts arise, observe, and don't chase. As I watched that young person next to me, thoughts arose, and I had to observe them, and I did not push the button to make my stair climber go faster. In the old days, I'd have done that. The new days, no. You see, stillness is where deep presence is cultivated and truth is remembered. The noise blocks you from remembering, blocks you from cultivating stillness. So when we take time to mindfully be mindful and silent, we're doing ourselves a big favor. The third daily action that we can take is to be fully present in every action. In other words, do one thing at a time. I hear this crap all the time. I'm a multitasker. You're not a multitasker. You're a multi-disruptor. You're disengaged. You do this, disengage, do that, disengage, do this. No. Put your mind on one thing, do it, finish it, move on to the next. You'll be amazed at how full your day is, how complete it is, how much you accomplish. And you're fully present. And when you're fully present, because if you're doing multitasking, your mind's bouncing between things. You're not present. You want to be present. Turn a routine into a ritual. That's a great way. I have a routine. Every morning with my wife, we do a 30-minute meditation, and then we do 11 minutes of deep Wim Hof breathing. It's a ritual. We do not start our day without that ritual. We've decided it gives us a great benefit. And then let each moment be enough. Stop striving for more. Let the moment you're in be the perfect moment. Enough. Realize it. Think about when you were younger. You had all these beautiful moments that you can't even remember because why? You weren't fully present. Don't give your life that. You want to fully remember all the precious moments of life. And the only way to do that is to be present with them. You see, spiritual living is not what you do. It's how you do it. And to do it well, you've got to be present. The fourth practical way we're going to look at is to let go of the need to control. Control is the ego's illusion, where surrender is your strength. Do you think you can control your dog, your cat? Do you think you can control your partner, your children, your grandparents, your parents? Do you think you can control your friends? No, you can't. Think about how much work that involves. If you're that tired at the end of the day, it's probably because you're trying to control too much. And that's your ego. Your ego wants to be in control. But you have to be the master of your ego and say, no, I'm going to surrender into this moment. I don't need to control everything. In order to do that, you've got to accept life as it is. Think about life. You have no control, basically. The only thing you have control of is some of your thoughts. A lot of your thoughts are habitual. You don't even have control of them. But can you accept your life as is and not fight against the life that is? When you do that, oh my God, you set yourself free. You're accepting life as it is so you can move forward. You're not in denial any longer. Then the next way is to trust the process. Life will continue to unfold. I don't know who you are, where you are, how long you've been alive, but you're here right now. And if you're here right now, fully engaged with me, you're alive, and in this moment, everything is perfect. You have no needs. Trust the process. And here's a big one, and this was a real big one for me, and it was release the need to fix, force, or figure out. Yeah, release the need. I can't fix my wife. My wife's perfect. I can't force her to do this or that. That would not work. And I certainly can't figure her out. Why? Because at this point of her life, she's had 1.5 billion thoughts. I've had 1.5, a little bit more billion thoughts, because I'm a little older than her. How am I going to figure out if I don't know exactly every thought in the sequence and how each thought affected every other thought? It's impossible to figure out. And if you think about it, she's got 1.5 billion thoughts. How am I going to force her to do anything when she's got 1.5 billion thoughts that are telling her, do it this way? And who am I to think that she even needs to be fixed? What makes me that judge? I'm not that judge. You see, spiritual power is found in alignment with reality and not fighting it. And the fifth way, the fifth practical way to live daily, speak and act from direct experience. That's right. Truth lives in embodiment, not in belief. Many people say, I believe this, but they don't do what they believe, so they don't really know it. Who you are, people know who you are by how you live. Your thoughts, your words, your actions, they're observing everything about you. And when you have embodied something, it permeates everything you do. And then the next way of this is to speak only what's true, what's necessary, what's kind. Only what's true. That's an interesting concept. Because the one thing I know that's true is that I'm aware, and I can ask someone a question, who's in there? Who's hearing me? Well, they'll know that they're aware. But what's true? I think that's about it. What's necessary? How can we create a greater life? How can we experience more love? It's not gossip, it's not complaining. And when you're talking to someone, can you do it with kindness, with gentleness? I have to work on this because I'm pretty direct. And sometimes my directness gets misinterpreted, and I realize after the fact that maybe I could have been a little kinder in the way I said it. But sometimes I choose consciously not to be kind, in that I choose, well, I don't want to be kind. I choose to be more direct because I know that the person won't hear what they've asked me to speak unless I get more direct. Again, act from direct experience. Avoid gossip, exaggeration, and assumptions. Think about direct experience. How much have you not experienced because you made bad assumptions? How much have you exaggerated? Have you embellished a story? Really contemplate that. That's not serving you. Why do you need to embellish? Who are you trying to prove things to? Why are you making assumptions when you just accept what is? Here's what I know. There's a law of cause and effect. What you put out comes back. You don't need to make any other assumptions than that. If you're ill right now, it's because something in you is causing your body to go into a stressful state, which is out of homeostasis. And when the body's in that state, there will be a dis-ease in the body. It's just as simple as that. Simple as that. This is a big one. Let your actions reflect your awareness. I used to always know that my kids would not hear a word I say, but they would observe everything I do. And so that's one of the reasons when I had kids, I quit drinking and I quit smoking, because I wanted my actions to speak louder than any words I could. And not only did I do it for them, I did it for me, because I didn't need to drink and I didn't need to smoke, because those were just substitutes for something I felt was missing in me. People say, well, when you drink, you were hilarious. You were so much fun to be with. I'm hilarious and fun to be with without alcohol. I don't need that. Smoking calms you down. Meditation calms me down. Smoking was addictive and could have caused me major health problems. I've worked through those. Spiritual living shows up in how you speak, act, and how you show up on a daily basis. Spiritual living it's simple, but it's not easy. It's bold, but it's not a performance. It's presence. It doesn't mean you're perfect. Stop seeking perfection. That's unreal. Then it's real. And real means it's not rehearsed. When I come to these talks, I have a blueprint, but it's unrehearsed. I put it together days ago and I deliver it unrehearsed. When I'm with people, I'm the same way. Being real means being fully present. How do you do this? Start with one breath, one thought, one word, one action, one feeling, one moment at a time. Everything begins with one. That's the essence of all that you are. You are one. It's time to start practicing that. The more spiritually centered you become, the more powerful and peaceful your presence becomes. And that's the greatest gift that you can give to the world. The gift that the world has been waiting for. You. I want to thank you for being with me today. And I hope that this message touched you at your heart and that you got one thing that you can test. I always say, don't believe a word I say. Test it, prove it for yourself, then you own it. If you'd like to plug in at Agape, go to agapespiritualcenter.com and there, click on the tab where it says sign up for the newsletter and daily thought. This way you'll get my daily thought that I write that day, that morning, and you'll get a newsletter about how you can plug in. Go to the calendar. There are many ways that you can plug in with us. Do a daily meditation 7 days a week with me, live on Zoom. There's so many other ways. Plug in there. And if this message touched you, hit the giving tab. Become a regular giver. Sign up and be an automated giver, whether it's $5 a week, $10 a week, maybe $100 a week. Maybe you're even richer than that, $1,000 a week. Go ahead. Sign up, because your gift allows us to bring this message. Without you, we wouldn't be doing this. We know that you are a valuable part of this community, and I am so grateful that you show up. Here's another thing you could do. Share this message. Let others know that there are ways of looking at things that are different than everyone else is looking at. And in that way, we can learn how to better self-love. And when we can self-love, we can love each other better, and we can love life. Make it a great day.